you with a fine-tooth comb. There was something going on. Boo, boo. Oh my gosh, you're already here. Alexa, stop. Alexa, stop. Sorry, I was grabbing a quick drink of water before my next Zoom meeting. I didn't realize you guys were already here, but I've got my water. So glad you're here. I hope you didn't hear me singing. I want to tell you my very favorite story. I tell this every year to the TAP candidates, and I just wish I could see you in person, but I know we'll meet very soon, and I'm going to get to coach some of you, which is the absolute best part of my job. So, first year of teaching. Let me reset. I really hope you didn't hear me singing Dolly Parton. I really love that song. So, 29 years ago, I was 21. I had just graduated from the University of Georgia, go Dogs, and had a hard time finding a job as a special ed teacher. Believe it or not, it was hard back then to find a teaching job, and especially to find a job teaching elementary special education, which is what I wanted to do. But a few days before school started, I landed a job in Fulton County at Camp Creek Middle School, and I spent the few days before school started getting ready. I got my bulletin boards done. I had my room all decorated. I went up to the front office to pull the students' files so I could make copies of their IEPs and get to know the kids a little bit. And while I was up there, the lovely assistant principal, Miss Jones, was there, and she sat down and talked to me about the kids that she knew from the year before. And we got to one student's file, and she said, "He's very artistic." And I thought, man, this gets better and better. My dad is an art professor. Like, I actually have a pottery studio in my house. Like, me and Tim are getting along great. And I went through the rest of the files and kind of, felt like I knew what to do. And I spent the weekend working my lesson plans, got to school bright and early Monday morning. I had on a new dress. I'll never forget. It was navy blue. I got it at J. Crew, and my mom got me some flats because, you have to have cute flats when you're a teacher. And I had those on, and the kids came in, and they got off the bus, and I've never seen a kid as big as Tim. He was huge, 16 years old, probably 6'4", over 300 pounds. And right behind him came an even bigger man. And it was Mr. John. And Mr. John was one of my parapros. In fact, he was Tim's one-on-one para. And I met my other lovely parapro, Natalie, who was a PE teacher who couldn't find a job, and so she was going to be a para for a year. And there were 8 kids, 3 adults, and I thought, I got this made. Like, this, they're paying me to do this? Well, I quickly found out that the lesson plans I had spent all weekend writing lasted about an hour. There were so many activities that I planned the kids couldn't do. Everything was hand over hand. The kids would not stay in their seats. I was sweating, I think, by 8:30. Didn't think we would make it to lunch, but alas, we made it to lunch. We played a lot of games. We listened to music, and I thought, I'm going to spend this whole night like reworking the whole week's worth of lessons because I was totally out in left field. I have no idea what I'm doing. Why do they think I'm ready to teach? I'm obviously not. But I was lucky. I was lucky to have 2 great parapros in my room. We got to lunch. I didn't even eat because I had to feed kids, and they weren't even sitting down. So they said, normally we don't eat in the cafeteria. And I was like, well, we're eating in the cafeteria. And we did the whole year. But we got back from the cafeteria, and Mr. John said it was time for his lunch. So I was like, that's fine. I had pulled some other activity. I think we're doing spin art. That was the big plan for the afternoon, was to do spin art, which if you've ever done that, it takes about 2 minutes. So we were doing spin art, and Mr. John left, and about 2 minutes after he walked out the door, Tim looked at me and started laughing, and got up and kind of jogged to the door and opened it, walked out. So when Mr. John left, he turned right to go towards the cafeteria. When Tim left, he turned left. And I immediately went into panic mode because my room was the second one from the end of the hallway. And the door at the end of the hallway went out to Old National Highway. So thank goodness Natalie was in the room, and I called out to her, I'm going after Tim, and I heard her say, okay. Well, remember the new shoes. By that point, my feet were hurting. I had some blisters, and Tim had jogged off in the direction of the highway. So I kicked my shoes off, and I went running after him, thinking the whole time, like, what? I'm going to get fired on my first day. I let a kid run out of my classroom. There's no way I can catch him. And even if I do catch him, at the time, I think I weighed 125 pounds and was still am, 5'7", 5'8". He's much taller, he's much bigger, and he's much faster. Luckily, Natalie had the presence of mind to hit the panic button, and the school resource officer came and got us. He got Tim and put him in the car. He got me, put me in the car. We went back to school, got my shoes. By the end of the day, they had installed a lock on the outside of my classroom door so that when Mr. John went to lunch, he locked it from the outside. Now, remember, that was 1992, and I'm not sure that something like that would be allowed these days, but that's what we did. We locked ourselves in the room every day when Mr. John went to lunch, and on the days when Mr. John didn't come to school. I went home that night, and I remember telling my parents, I can't do this. What did I sign up for? I didn't learn how to do this in college. This was not what I learned at UGA. And my parents, who are both educators, said there's a reason that nobody wanted to teach that class. I mean, that's why I got the job, is because nobody else wanted that class. You haven't signed your contract yet. Just call them in the morning and say, I'm not coming back. But I thought about the kids, and I thought, but I love them. I love them. I want to figure this out. So I went back the next day, and I started asking for help. The first person who helped me was the self-contained EBD teacher, the teacher of emotional behavioral disordered kids across the hall, Mr. Hembry. He helped me all year. There was a teacher of the deaf, hard of hearing kids down the hall, and she helped me too. And the assistant principal helped me. And the regular ed teachers helped me. And the people at the central office helped me. And the parents helped me. And that year, in the spring, I got a phone call, and I was the teacher of the year for Fulton County. Now, let me tell you, it was not because I was a great teacher at all. It was because I showed up every single day, and I asked for help, and I took it. And when I failed, I admitted it, and I asked for help, and I tried to make it better. And that was the year that I learned more about myself than any other year of my teaching career. And I just wanted to share that with you to tell you that there's a reason you're here today. And I hope that reason is because you really feel like you can make a difference in the lives of kids and their families, and that you have a passion for helping people. And when things get tough, and they will, I mean, you're going to be teaching in the middle of a pandemic. I hope you will remember how you feel right now, that you are going to be the teacher of the year. You are going to be the best teacher that you can be because you're going to ask for help. You're never going to lose your passion. You're going to seek out challenges. You're going to do the job that nobody else wants to do because you want to do it for kids, because you believe in kids and you want to make the world a better place. I can't wait to meet you in person. Good luck. Have a great 2 weeks.